Hello everyone, welcome. If you didn't catch me live, no worries. At the beginning of my readings, live readings, I do group readings. Man, you guys are fast at jumping in here. Hey, welcome. And so again, I normally start these nights with group readings and then we sort of jump into individual readings. So yeah, even if you didn't catch me live, don't worry, visit my website, psychiclauren.com, and you will see on my events page when I'm going to be live next. And then for those of you who are also joining live, I wanted to let you guys know next Tuesday I will not be on live, and that is because I'm doing group events. So this is something you guys can join me for. I'm doing a live event, and basically we just get on Zoom together and we practice giving each other readings. So this is not like me giving everyone else readings. This is everyone else giving everyone else readings. So the last Tuesday of every month, we do a fun group circle, and we basically get on Zoom. It's virtual, so it's safe, and we give each other readings and we practice our psychic abilities. Whereas like these Tuesday nights is more me reading you guys. If you want to have a space to practice in, but you actually want to like practice face to face and you're not just like, I don't know, messaging people online, which is helpful, but I'm really distracted by all the baby toys that I forgot to move that are behind me. But that it's a great space because you're actually practicing with each other one-on-one, and you're not just sort of like, I don't know, like half-assing it via like messaging. You're actually on live. You have to read somebody right then and right there. And it's absolutely amazing how much this improves your psychic ability, actually getting to practice with people. Being in person obviously is even better, but I wanted to provide a space for you guys so you could have something. So again, the last Tuesday of every month is these kind of, I call them the group practice nights. And you can sign up on my website. It's only $5 a person. It's an hour. You basically give readings and you get readings. There is no level of like intuitive ability. Like if you're not that experienced, you can still come. You can still join us. You don't have to be like whatsoever like a professional psychic. This is a great place to play and have fun, and to practice giving readings and practice getting readings. So again, if you want to join us, go in the link down below. You should see that group practice night. And I might talk about it a little bit more tonight. But let's get into the group reading for everybody, and then we'll jump into individual free readings. Again, if you want to donate, then I will put you at the top of the list. And I got my phone. Okay, I was worried I didn't have my phone. And I'm only going to be doing 2 free readings tonight, just because I have to get off early tonight. But yeah, I think that's it, guys. So let me get into this group reading. So I pulled my Shaman Oracle deck. This is kind of like, comes in this like set, and it's kind of shamanic cards, and this is one of those that I traded. There's a fun Facebook group online where if you're not like resonating with your tarot cards, you can jump on there and just swap. Like it's totally like trusting everyone else, and you know, putting your card up there. You say, okay, I'll send mine to you, you send me yours, and then you kind of just, you trade decks. And it's so far it's worked for me because I've gotten rid of some decks that I just didn't resonate with. But I got this shaman deck, and I don't use it too often, but tonight I was just really feeling it. So first I pulled the Dancer of Friendship card, and this is really like specific, and at first I was like, oh well, maybe this is just like kind of a sub theme, and I'm feeling like, no, our guys are talking about like our friendships, big, loud, and clear. The people you're friends with, your tribe. These people are no longer kind of working the way that they should be. So I pulled this in reverse. And the energy just feels old and stale. And I don't know about you guys, but I think this definitely resonates with me. And maybe it was because of the pandemic. Maybe you've just kind of lost touch with some friends. But this card, Dancer of Friendship, is basically saying, you know, those people that you keep around you most often, they reflect back what's in your life. And so if you're constantly hanging out with people that aren't good for you, that aren't really helping you or being a good friend back to you, they are not the type of people that you want to be around. So this Dancer of Friendship is like, okay, what are we talking about tonight? This is kind of the theme. And this is, you know, our friendships, the people that we keep around, not just relationships, but friends. And so then I pulled two more cards. And so then I pulled the Shaman of Birth. And this is talking about new ideas, new opportunities. You know, when we talk about birth, it's like birthing new projects, birthing new ideas, birthing even a next chapter of life. And I was really feeling like these two cards were really going against each other. Like the people around us right now are just like, they're getting in our heads. They're not helping us move forward. You know, maybe they're legitimately trying to bring you down, or maybe just their energy, their negativity is sort of sucking you in. And it's like, we need to get away from them so we can kind of move forward. And because we're still saying, okay, universe, I'm okay with this energy. I'm okay with being around these kind of crappy people. We're not seeing new things. We're not opening ourselves up to new opportunities that are coming our way. And again, this is very specific. Sometimes I feel like the group readings are very general, but this is like very like, I double checked with my guides. I was like, are we talking about friends here? Like friends. And it's like, yes, big time. And it really feels like the pandemic related also. It's like, because, you know, we haven't been able to see these people, you know, a lot has shifted. A lot of people's lives have shifted in a major way, and they are not maybe the same people that they used to be. And then the Hunter of Dreams. So this is ancestors coming in and saying, I'm here to talk to you in your dreams. I'm here to help you with your intuition in a broader sense. And so these guides, these shamanic ancestors, they're coming in to say, hey, we want to help you with this. We want to help you birth new ideas and get rid of the people that aren't working in your life. And we can help you with your intuition. We can help you through your dreams. You know, if you want to connect to us, if you want to do a shamanic journey, if you want to meditate, if you want to dream with us, we are here to help. And so it feels like these guys, these kind of warrior guys, are here to help us. These ancestors want to help bring in these new opportunities, but we are blocking them by keeping the people around us that we do. And just know, even if this isn't friends, could also be very close family members or even work-related people. Think about the people who you are around most often. It just feels like their energy is blocking you. And just to kind of step back and explain how that works, you know, if you're constantly around people that are negative, you sort of adopt their energy. You sort of suck in their energy and take on the things that they're taking on. And so if you're constantly surrounded by negative people, or even if they're not negative as much as like they're constantly complaining about their life, or they just can't see the opportunities that are in front of them, they sort of get into this lack mentality of, oh, I can only go so far in life. And sometimes that is a hinder or block on you, of even just like financially. You know, if you have that friend who's always like, oh, I'm so broke, I can't do anything, and you sort of mirror that energy and you're like, oh yeah, you know, you might be financially okay, but you kind of sympathize and you're like, oh yeah, I can't pay for this, and you know, I'm stuck with this. And then what happens is you keep affirming this energy. You keep putting out to the universe that, yes, I'm like this too. I'm okay being around this energy. And so you just keep attracting more and more of it. And then it blocks you. And I know I'm kind of going far into this, but I'm really just feeling the energy of this reading tonight. And I'm feeling like it very much resonates with me. I have a lot of old relationships that I'm hanging on to that were awesome years and years ago, but they just no longer serve me, and I kind of need to let them go. So I hope that message resonates with you guys. Yeah, and I think just kind of the shamanic energy tonight was coming through, which is why I'm going to use some of these cards. And I've also got my mermaid deck. But again, I'm only going to do 2 live readings tonight. And then we will, if any donations obviously come through, we will also do those. But let me catch up on the chat. Hello, Lauren. This is interesting. Do we get messages from our ancestors? Yes, maybe tonight. So I forgot to explain that. So if you're new here, the group reading, the reading that I do for everybody, is kind of based on the theme of the night. And I always take a minute before I get on live and I ask my guides, okay, the people that are specifically coming tonight, What is the energy? What does everyone need to know? Kind of what's the theme of the night? And when I say theme, it's more like what is the group main message that needs to be communicated. And when I do gallery readings, when I'm in front of like a huge group of people, that tends to be the case. I always say there's a group theme. There's a reason why some people came that night and are sitting next to other people versus maybe somebody had to cancel, maybe their energy didn't fit that night. And it's crazy because some people in the room might have all have grandmothers that have passed that are sitting in the same area, and the grandmas all come through. Maybe these people over here all have like work related issues and they all sit together, and it's very interesting how group energy works. So yeah, tonight it felt like ancestors coming in wanting to talk. I need to do the live event. Yes, Heidi. So for those of you interested in the live event, it's going to be exactly 1 week from tonight. It's only $5. So if you're on here tonight anyway, it would be the same thing next week, but just join us on a group Zoom call and we all get on and we practice together. And I've already got like a plan for the night. We have a ton of exercises that we're going to go through. And it's just like a ton of fun. I'm really excited for it. I predict we will all become millionaires before 2022. Yes, I agree. Hello, Mo. Hello, Taylor. Hey, Mama Odie. Hi, Amanda. Hi, Marissa. Or at least financially independent. Those are good money affirmations to set. Excuse me. Okay. Thank you, ancestors. This resonates with me. I'm glad, Heidi. It really resonates with me also. So let's jump into individual readings. So how I do individual readings is I do fun little guessing games. And if you can guess the thing I'm thinking of, then you get the reading. And if you don't want to wait and you don't want to play the guessing games, then send me a donation. I have PayPal and Venmo in the link in my description. And then, sorry, I had my phone on super loud. And then I'll make sure that you get a reading. No hablo español. That's the only thing I know. Sorry. But yeah, and send me a donation and then you will get to the top, but I'm only probably going to be doing like 2 readings tonight. 2 free readings. So I am thinking of an animal. If you can think of the animal that I'm thinking of, then you get the reading. This school bus is driving me nuts there. I'm going to block it out. I can't block it out all the way. Not a cat, not a deer. Sir Jester. I've never had anyone try to make multiple guesses in one. I wonder if I should have a rule around that. Not a horse, not a dog. Nobody's gotten it yet. Forgot to do this with my pigtails. This is a fun trick. If you have pigtails or a ponytail, it's too thin. You can kind of pull the hair out like this, and it makes your the pigtail look way bigger. Kind of cool. I like to edge my best. Nobody's gotten it yet. Think of the animal that I'm thinking of, and then you get the reading. Oh, I like to edge my bets. Hey, V Cookie. Just double check. Yeah, nobody's gotten it. I guess I'll get more specific. This is a mountain animal. Lives in mountains. Hey everyone, if you are joining me, please join us next Tuesday. Next Tuesday night, we are going to be doing a group Zoom call where we all get on live and practice reading each other. It's not like this where I'm reading you guys. We all get on and practice a bunch of psychic exercises. You read each other, you read yourselves. I give you guys like one-on-one feedback. It's great for coaching if you really want to like get the hang of things. And really, my plan is to have it be really fun. More of a community feel, more of like a monthly, like, oh yeah, I'm going to go hang out with my friends and practice my psychic abilities. I'm really excited for it. Okay, nobody's gotten it yet. The thing about these animals is you always see them in videos like totally like crawling into somebody's pool or somebody's whatchamacallit, bear mowed alive. You got it. Good guesses. There's a lot of guesses. Stick around, everyone. I'm probably going to be doing one more live reading, and then send me a donation. Is it possible to be tuned into other people's guesses without realizing? Yes, Marissa. So one of the things you have to set your intention with is, I want to know what Lauryn's thinking, not what V Cookie's thinking or Sir Jester is thinking. And that's something that often happens. And I've been thinking about doing a video of it because sometimes, and Moda Live, let me know what your question is. Sometimes what can happen is you can read the person's thoughts. And that can get you into dangerous waters because if, for example, somebody's coming to me and they're like, I lost my cat. Oh my gosh, I'm so scared. I have to make sure that I'm not reading that client's thoughts because her thoughts could be, oh my gosh, she got hit by a bus or she's cold and sick and dead somewhere. And that can definitely happen if that person is very strong, very empathetic, very intuitive, and just kind of unknowingly putting that out there. So you have to very much kind of block out their energy, connect to your guides or connect to that psychic source and make sure you're not reading other people's thoughts around it. And you can't necessarily read exactly what their thoughts are, but sometimes their energy can kind of get in your way, if that makes sense. Thank you, Alyssa. Alyssa, I will get to you right after this. Alyssa, where did you donate? Oh, got it. PayPal. Oh, Alyssa, I normally do $5 minimum. So let me know. If not, maybe I can just do a yes or no question for you for that. Since you still donated some. Let's see. Okay. Okay, mode alive. Oh, yeah. I would just like a continuation of the reading about friendships. I have strong friendships around me, but some tug and pull. Yes. I feel like I grabbed the wrong cards for tonight, but wiping the slate clean. I think there's definitely like a part of you, Mo, that is just like, hey guys, we're done guessing. I'm reading Mo. Mo got it. It was a bear. Interesting. Okay, so Mo, I feel like you definitely know there's some of those friends that you need to get a little bit of space from. I also pulled the family card. I feel like your family is a good spot to lean on, but also I feel like some of the, this continuation of the friendships. I feel like you do have some of these family members that are very much the same here. Okay. And so your guys are saying, so you have family over here and they're doing this same thing of kind of like sucking your energy. And then you have friends over here who all are also like sucking your energy. This isn't everybody, but it's just like a few particular people. But then you have friends over here who are good for you and you have family members who are good for you. But because, they're talking about the family specifically because because they're family, you're giving them an exception. You're like saying, oh, well, they're family. So, they can step on me more because that's what we do and stuff like that. But really, you need to take a step back and get a little bit more boundaries from these people. Doesn't mean you have to just like leave them and never speak to them again. But just because they're family doesn't mean they're not toxic. So be very conscious of those people. And they're just saying have the same standards for your family as you would friends. Let me just pull one more card. I think there's just people, your friends specifically, are not in tune with themselves. And so if you're wondering, okay, like which friends are not working for me, it's like the friends that are just like not aware of what they want, what they need out of life. I just feel like, they don't connect to their intuition. They're very surface level, very material, very earthly. They're just concerned about like money, relationships, just like getting everything done. And like you're second or third to them. Definitely hard when you live together. Absolutely. Oh no, Heidi, let me look at it here in a second. I wonder if I accidentally did like an old link. I know who you're talking about. Yeah, and so what your guys are saying is that these people are not connected to themselves at a deeper level. And this is what you want, Mo. This is the path that you're moving towards. And so if you're telling the universe, okay, I'm okay with being around people who are just going to ignore that side of themselves, ignore their intuition and what they really like need to, fix themselves or move on, then, it's okay. You can hang out with them, but in a way you're going to copy them, you're going to mimic them, and so it's important to, at least if you have to be around them, at least try to go out of your way to make it happen, or I don't know, move on from them as a friendship. I mean, they're even telling me you can coach them through it. You can show them how to become this, how to get more connected with themselves deeply. Like I'm having a really hard time describing it, but I can see it. It's like those people who are just like they don't ever think beyond their physical plane, if that makes sense. It's like they don't care about anything besides like money, work, their to-do list. Like they don't think about anything spiritual. They don't think like existentially, like what are my actions going to do to affect other people. um and so it's those people to be wary of. And again, Mo, it's not, get away from them or completely cut them out. It's just making sure to get your freedom from them, making sure to take a step away, and not indulge in that energy, if that makes sense. Because again, the people you hang out with the most, you end up mimicking them, you end up taking on their energy, you end up doing things very similarly to them, and that's just like a psychological fact. And because of that, you're going to tell the universe, I'm okay with this is who I am, because this is who I am around. And we just want to make sure that we are surrounding ourselves with the right people, the good people. Awesome. Thank you, Mo. Let's see, Heidi. Sorry, guys. I'm just going to help Heidi out really quick. So I have the group event, which is next week. I'm just going to try to book it now myself. So it should be the 27th. I'll just send you guys the link. Here's the link. Heidi, I'm able to check out. I hope other people are. I know I've had other people sign up, so maybe there might be just a glitch on your end. You can also pay through Facebook also. I have a Facebook event for it if for some reason the website is not working out. Yes, thank you. I hope, and Heidi, feel free to always email me if you're trying to get in and it's still not working. I can always send like an invoice. It's pretty easy. But yeah, guys, that link that I just sent, we are doing next Tuesday, week from tonight, we're doing a group Zoom call where we all get on and practice our psychic abilities together. So I'm going to give you guys exercises and sort of challenge you. You can be a beginner, you can be advanced, but this is a time to basically practice reading yourself, practice reading other people, get feedback, like actual feedback from other people and feedback from me, and just actually like talk to each other, which is like something that is kind of a bummer about these YouTube lives, is I can't like see your faces. And it's one of the things I miss the most about teaching classes. All right. Okay. So let's see. Alyssa, what was your question? Okay. Thank you, Alyssa. So Alyssa's question was, I would like to know if Jordan is going to try to come back to me. Will this happen soon? If so, I'll pull from my mermaid cards for Alyssa. This is you, Alyssa. Song of the Siren. You are calling him. You are summoning him. Your energy is definitely out there, and he's aware of it, Alyssa. And just for those of you who are kind of asking questions, so Alyssa technically asked a yes or no question, which is like, should I, shouldn't I, will this not happen? And so that really only leaves two results, which is like yes or no. And so, there's no yes or no cards technically in here. I mean, you can read tarot and just pull it and decide that if it's upright, it's a yes. If it's downright, it's a no. But I typically don't read that way. I like to go a little further. So I just kind of got first impressions. And Alyssa, you're definitely like making it known that you like him, whether you're doing that very physically or kind of more up here energetically. And so I think your guides wanted to start here because they're like, okay, because sometimes the issue is like people are like, are they going to come to me? Do they like me? And they like literally don't even know that you like them or that you exist. And so that's not the case here. They're saying you're doing a good job of putting your intention out there and he's aware of it. So instead of like a yes or no question, Alyssa, what I'm going to ask for you is how can you attract him a little bit better? Well, but they already answered that. My guides are like, we're already on top of this, Lauryn. They're like, we answered your question already. The answer is you're already attracting him. You're already doing what you can. And so I think what they're trying to say here is like, there's nothing more that you can do. You're doing everything correctly. If I pulled this in the reverse, I would say that this is like, okay, you're being a little too forward. You're being a little too crazy. But that's not like what I'm getting at all, Alyssa. To your relationship, he cheated on me and I left him. Been a week since we spoke. I just want to know if you ever try to come back and try to get me back, or is it over forever? Yeah, well, let me finish my thought. So my thought was, you're putting it out there. You're clearly like, you're putting it out there that you're open, which is interesting because you're saying he cheated on you. Interesting. I think what it is you're energetically thinking about him and you're like wondering if it's still a possibility. And because of that, you're kind of signaling to the universe and to him that you're open and you're interested. So Alyssa, I would ask you, are you okay with being with him again? Because even if you're not, there's some part of you that's still attracted to that old relationship. And there's some part of you that's still inviting it in, which makes sense with that group reading that I gave earlier of like keeping people around you that are not good. I mean, he doesn't feel like a good person, especially if he's cheated on you. It might not, I shouldn't say it's not that he's not a good person, but he's not going to be good to you. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm getting all intuitive information here. So yeah, kind of to step back, it's like you're signaling that to the universe that you might still be okay with this and you might be okay with a relationship, but your guys are like, are you sure you want this relationship? He did not treat you very well. So I think their main piece of advice, Alyssa, is to kind of shut this energy down, to shut or to decide, do you want to keep kind of being like, hey, I'm still interested, or do you want to be like, I'm not going to do this again? And so I think that sort of answers your question of, will he come back? I think he's going to come back if you still have this kind of like, come towards me a little bit energy. But if you shut it down and you're like, energetically, and you're like, no, universe, I do not accept this. I don't want somebody ever again that's going to treat me this way. Then yeah, he's not going to come back, because what I'm feeling like is the only way he's going to come back. I mean, this is a very sexual card. It's like a song of the siren, and sirens are like, they lured their prey in by being all like sexy and trying to get the sailors or something. I can't remember. But that intention alone is like the wrong reasons. Your intentions with all of this is like for the wrong reasons. I'm not open to get back with him. He's a narcissist. Yeah. And I would just say that maybe explore if there's some part of you that's still just like opening up to it in some way, even if it's subconscious. Like even the simple fact of you just sort of like thinking about it being a possibility or him trying can sometimes be enough to tell the universe, I don't know, I would consider it. I just want to, but yeah, if you're not open and if I'm reading that wrong and you're just like, nope, I'm done, I don't think so. I don't think he's going to come back, because what I was about to say was like tuning into his energy. The only reason he's going to come back is for a booty call. And that's why I was saying this card is like sexual. Like he'll come back for this. He'll come back for the booty call, which is again not the right intentions, not probably what you want at all. So I think yes, if you were putting it out there like, hey, raising your eyebrows kind of thing. I want to see him face to face to get closure. Gotcha. Yeah, and I think that's the part of you that's still like attracting him in, and there's maybe a part of you that is like, oh, and I'm gonna dress up all sexy and like show him what he's missing out on. Any of that, just know, could be the wrong signal. Awesome. Thank you, Alyssa. Normally I just do one card for $5. I'm sorry if it doesn't make sense. I tried to be as clear as I could. Feel free to rewatch it if it doesn't make sense. Hello, Missy. Was that the 2 readings? Oh, no. Okay. So I'm going to do one more free reading. I don't have too much time. Jenna paid for a donation. Thank you, Jenna. Jenna, let me know what your question is, and I still have one more free reading to do. We will get to that tonight. Hey, everyone. Welcome. If you are new here, please subscribe. Next Tuesday, normally every Tuesday I'm on here doing live readings, but next Tuesday I will be doing a group sort of Zoom call where we all practice each other's psychic abilities, all sorts of fun stuff there. If you want to pay for a reading, you can visit my website. But yeah, next Tuesday, I hope that you guys join us. I want to get some more people showing up so we can all practice with each other. But yeah, these nights, normally what I do is a bunch of live sort of free readings and very short, just to kind of keep it fair to everyone. And then, excuse me. But if anybody does donate, then I will make sure that you guys get a reading. And unfortunately, I don't have Super Chat yet, so you have to go to my Venmo or my PayPal, but one day that won't be such like a huge pain in the butt to get around. I will be here. So I won't be here next Tuesday night. Normally, every Tuesday night I am here, but the last Tuesday of the month, we are doing a group practice call. So we all get on a video chat together, and we do a bunch of exercises as if we were in person, class style. So it's not like a class where I'm teaching you any one specific thing. It is purely just a space for you guys to get practice. And I sort of get feedback from you guys of like, okay, what do you want to do next time? And I give you guys homework to do before you come in. I give you homework to do as you leave. So I try to cram it in with as many exercises as possible because it's so helpful to actually practice with people in person. I can't tell you how much of a difference it makes to practice reading people in person. How do you sign up? The link is in the chat above. It's also in the description of the video. It's basically on my website. You go to my services page and click on coaching, and you'll see that monthly group call. Super chat would be great. Oh, good to know, Mo. Yeah, I mean, I'm so close to getting monetized. As soon as I'm monetized, you'll see the super chat, but I'm still not there. Okay. So Jenna wants to know any messages, nothing specific. Thank you, Jenna. Okay. So I want to pull these cards for Jenna. So these are kind of my Shaman's Oracle. I like to think about it as connecting with our ancestors. I'm immediately getting like Irish, Jenna. Like Irish ancestors, Ireland. Ancestors of boundaries. Dancer of Life. So Jenna, this card, Ancestor of Boundaries, I'm feeling like one of the things in your life that you struggle with is setting boundaries. Either you let people come in and take advantage of you, or maybe you just like don't speak up all the time when somebody like does something that hurts you. And maybe sometimes it goes into the opposite where like finally you'll step up and say something and then you'll like take it too far. I'm sort of that way too. And they're coming in to say that this is something that you're continuously learning. You've sort of had to deal with this in a past life. Not even a past life. This is like very, they're showing me that it's like that study of like your, how things get passed down in your genes. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? It's like that family gene thing that is like scientifically studied, that like something, I can't remember what it is, but this is what it feels like. It doesn't feel, I know I just said past life, but they were like, no, that's not it. It's like you are connected to people. Your family maybe was from Ireland. Yeah, something like that. Genetic trauma. One of the spirit guides is Irish. Gotcha. And yeah, this is like somebody who is in your bloodline. This is a genetic like thing, is what they're saying. And again, I could be wrong. Any of you guys who are watching, I'm all about like I could be wrong. I could not be connecting right. But this boundary thing is coming up for you right now. It's been coming up for you and a lot of people in your family. This is what they're wanting to talk about. And the Dancers of Life card. And you can tell me, Jenna, if this like doesn't resonate, but what it feels like is like where you get stuck with the boundaries is like when people lie to you. And I'm just getting pulled back to this theme of the night of like, you know, are there people around you, Jenna, that are, you know, lying to you? Like totally not being honest with you. Maybe it's not family. It could be like friends. But it just feels like, Jenna, like people kind of like do these like little things, these little petty things to you, and you just kind of like nod and you're like, I know they're lying, but whatever, I'm used to it. And it's just kind of like, okay, I'm going to just keep going with it and deliver the message. But it feels like these people kind of maybe half lie around you. Like I'm getting very specifically, like this has happened to my husband recently, and they're showing me this same incident of somebody who's like very nice. Like when we think of lies, we think of something like really malicious, but they're like showing me like somebody who's being kind and trying to be nice, but they're lying because they feel like they have to, because they like need to be your friend, or they don't want to upset you or something like that. And it's like people lying to you about little things, and it's almost like you're so used to it, you're just like, okay, whatever, I'm not going to correct them. And I think that this gets in your way of these boundaries that you set, or the lack of boundaries that you have. And this feels like with like acquaintances or like friends. I just want to look at this really quick, sorry. Because I don't feel like you are the one doing the lying. I feel like it's kind of like these little things of like people, you catching people in sort of these like half lies. Interesting, Mo. I wouldn't have said any, or I wouldn't have thought that about them, but makes sense. Mm-hmm. And if that doesn't necessarily resonate, I'm just going to sort of read Jenna what this like little booklet that comes along with it says. It's talking about like falsehood, opposition, plans being interrupted, being led astray, inner conflict, your resolve is weakened. I just feel like this could even be like you lying to yourself in some ways, of just not, you know, setting up boundaries for yourself, or just kind of those rules of like, you know what, I'm drawing the line here, and I'm going to tell the universe that I deserve more. And so you're sort of like dancing around these boundaries. Whenever I kind of tune into the visual of it, it's like you're like sometimes setting the boundaries, and then sometimes you're like, well, it doesn't matter, whatever. And so I'm going to let go of these cards and just sort of keep going with it. feel like they're getting at a very big, very vague concept, and I'm just trying to get the more specific details. Yeah, because it just feels like this pattern of you approaching people in life and like wanting to set these boundaries and then just like not always adhering to them. And I'm seeing like little things where people are like, you know, what should we go eat? And like they ask everybody what they want to eat, and like you're the only one, Jenna, who's just like, oh well, I would like to eat this, and like nobody asks you, and you just kind of like let it slide. And they're just showing me like it's a lot of these little things that you just sort of let go, but they accumulate. They sort of signal to the universe that you're okay with these boundaries being crossed. And maybe it's just something to pay attention to, especially if it's not resonating. I'll just ask for any other messages just in case. And I feel like they're just like, nope, we're talking about this. And what I like to say is spirit likes to come in and say what they want to say, especially if we keep it like a general reading. What do I need to know most right now? So the Selkie and her skin, this is like being comfortable in your own skin. Really, the Selkie is like part mermaid, part seal, or what are those? Yeah, those are seals. And so it's kind of like in a negative way, it's like this transformation between not knowing who you are, being one way, sometimes being another way, another time. So it's talking about reclaiming your authenticity. And so I feel like this is you right now. You're just a little bit lost in like who you are, and maybe you let either other people kind of step on you, or even yourself and your idea of like who you need to be for the people in your life. And because of that, you morph, you transform into what people need you to be. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. I think it's also a strength of yours. And that's why this ancestor of boundaries is coming in. It's like they're saying this is going to be like a constant back and forth. It's not like an all the time negative thing. It's just like something that you always dance around. It's something that you always might have to kind of handle or deal with. Reclaiming your authenticity. And then the coral's wisdom. This is like knowing yourself, knowing your true inner self. But also understanding what I love about this card. It's like the coral. Coral is fragile, it's delicate, it's breakable. And I think what they're trying to say is like, if you let this go too much, if you become this person who, either lets other people or keeps telling yourself that you're okay with all of these little tiny things happening, you slowly start to break. You slowly start to become somebody that's not you. You become what other people want you to be, and you become fragile. You become less in touch with yourself. And I feel like this is like a scarier message than I wanted it to be. But I think they just like, it feels like this like knowing of like, just kind of keep this in mind. This is something you always have to, they keep using the word dance. Like you keep just having to dance around it, of knowing how far is too far. When do I need to pull it back? When do I need to rein this in and kind of reclaim some of my power? Versus, sometimes I don't need to step up and, shove my opinions on everybody 24/7. People pleaser here. That resonates. I'm constantly searching. And Jenna, I would maybe just sit down. This Ireland ancestor is coming through very specifically. Maybe I'm just not connecting correctly. Jenna, if you're into like shamanic journeying at all, I feel like you might meet these ancestors there pretty easily. And I think the reason why the ancestors are kind of coming through tonight is they tend to talk about those long-term effects. And this is not an immediately thing I'm feeling for you, Jenna. This is something that is like, it feels like it could be like over 20, 30 years. You might end up getting to this point and being like, how did I get here? And so maybe they're seeing something bigger than what we can see right now. Marissa, Jenna's message hits home for me too. Oh, and absolutely, that definitely happens with spirit. They like to get to multiple people in multiple ways. So even if you're not being read, that's why I'm like, pay attention. Let me know if it resonates, because you know some of us are going through the same issues, and a lot of times spirit is just like, I'm going to make sure that as many of you are out there that you guys get the message, and as many of you hear it as need as bleh, sometimes that as many of you guys get the message as is needed. That's funny that the dance comes up. One of my passions. Awesome, Jenna. That is cool. Let's see. And just so you guys know, Jenna donated, so that's why I'm spending a little bit more time with her. And she donated a little bit more. So I'm just gonna ask if there's anything else. Jenna, I don't know if there's a grandma in spirit, but she says she loves you. Coming up with Coral's wisdom again. Yeah, it's like specifically I'm being drawn to the works that are created over great periods of time, and I feel like this is you, and you're constantly evolving in little teeny bits. And it could be that you evolve into something beautiful and amazing, or you could accidentally make all these small decisions that sort of turn you into something that is fragile, that's delicate, it's very breakable. And I think, Jenna, it's not like something you should be scared of, like, oh, at any moment I could make the wrong decision and misstep. Don't move forward kind of living in fear. I think the red flags of like what to look out for. But maybe because this is an ancestor coming through, there's some proclivity to like this happening in your life, or genetically, something like that. Anything else for Jenna? Jenna's message resonates with me as well. That's interesting. Okay. That's good. And I just like to say that because, some people take my word and they take it a little too seriously. And, this shouldn't be something that you guys take my word and you're like, oh, Lauryn said this, and if I don't do this, then, my life is going to be a huge mess. And I've just seen that a lot lately on social media. I'm kind of diving into psychics on YouTube and psychics on Instagram. And there's a lot of people that take advantage of a lot of people. And there's a lot of people out there that truly believe that they have no free will. And they go to psychics every 2 seconds to try to like figure out what next step they should take. And they're so afraid to move forward and make their own decisions that they're constantly going to psychics. And I've just been seeing that, and I've been like, I need to make sure to tell people that like they have their own free will. And so that's kind of like for everybody. Awesome. Thank you so much, Jenna. I really appreciate your donation. And apparently it helped a lot of other people too. So thank you. Thank you, Jenna's guides. Let's see, did I miss anyone else's comments? Let me just make sure nobody else donated. I was gonna do. I got a new booking. Heidi! Yay, Heidi! I'm so excited to see you in person on Tuesday. So next Tuesday night, I will not be doing live readings. We will be doing a group Zoom call. So if you're here spending your hour with me anyway, you'd just be doing that, but on a Zoom call. $5, and we're all going to practice our psychic abilities. I'm going to send you guys some pre-homework, so get ready for that. And then we're going to basically try to cram in a bunch of exercises, read each other, and then we kind of leave with some homework for the next month. And I'm going to get your guys' feedback and kind of let me know like what works, what didn't, what you guys like, all that good stuff. So I'm really excited for next Tuesday. And I'm so bummed too, because one of the ladies that I practice with at the Aspen program for psychic development, her name is Allison. If you guys follow me on Facebook, and if you're in the Facebook group that we're all in, that we practice together, which all of you guys are welcome to that. She's also in there, and she runs her own intuitive coaching business, and she would be amazing in there because she's also a psychic coach and she took all those programs with me and she was a coach at that program with me. So I'm going to have to try to get a time that she can be in there as well and help me because I think her insights are just as valuable as mine. All right, so let's do our last free reading. So after this last free reading, I will only be taking donations. I just have to get off a little earlier tonight. I'm trying to think of something. Oh, that's too easy. I have to look around my room. I'm thinking of a country. If you can think of the country I'm thinking of, then you get the reading. And I sort of do these fun guessing games so that it's open to everybody. And I set the intention that whoever needs it the most gets it. And it also forces you guys to practice your psychic ability. And somebody, I think, was it Marissa? Marissa made a good point. Make sure you're asking, what is Lauryn thinking of? Not what is somebody else thinking of. So I'm putting it out there. And I'll give you guys hints if it takes too long. Also, does anybody know how to get the taste out of Nalgene's? France, Sir Jester, you got it. I'm looking at my husband's speakers and it says made in France. So Sir Jester got it. It was France. Let me know in the comments, Sir Jester, what your question is. But yeah, my Nalgene tastes like barbecue sauce. It's so gross. I think it's because like it sits in dirty dishes sometimes, and then when it gets washed in the wash, like something about Nalgene's like take on the taste of like other stuff. Like same with silicone. Like I don't know if you guys have those like little silicone things on the tops of Nalgene's that kind of blocks it so you don't like spray your face with water. Silicone though, also takes on the taste. I do not. Yeah, my water smells like barbecue sauce. And I'm like not drinking as much water today because I'm like, every time. Anyway. Close, Jenny. How do we donate? Yes. I'm sorry. I do not have a super chat yet. So close to being monetized. But yes, I have a PayPal and a Venmo linked in my description. As soon as I get monetized, I'll have a super chat and it'll be so much easier for you guys. But yeah, Sir Jester will be the last free reading for tonight. So anybody else wants a reading, get your donations in and we will finish up with those. Thank you guys for being here. Also, follow me on Instagram if you guys haven't yet. I know if you guys already do follow me on Instagram, it's mostly just me putting up notifications that a new video is up, but I'm kind of shifting my focus a little bit over there to make my Instagram better for you guys. I think I want to post more readings there, like weekly readings, and I want to just make my Instagram a little bit better. So follow me on Instagram and maybe you'll get weekly readings, weekly tarot readings. I'm trying to think what else would be useful to put up on Instagram because I'm very video oriented and photos I'm not always the best at. I want them to be good photos. I'm very like critical. So I don't like just putting up phone photos on an Instagram and it makes it look unprofessional. Anyway. Yeah, sorry. I think somebody asked me about Cash App last week and I completely forgot to go like set it up. I have it, but I have a new phone and I don't know the login. Vinegar may help with that. Oh, interesting, Jenny, because I was totally like thinking about vinegar today, but then I was like, but what if my Nalgene smells like vinegar? I soak a lot of dishes, especially baby bottles, in hot soapy water. Oh, interesting. I do that with baby bottles too, but not vinegar. Maybe I'll have to start doing that. Thank you, Jenny. I appreciate that. What's Source got to say? All right. Thank you, Mind Hunger. Please subscribe if you're new here. I see a lot of new faces in here. I'm on here every Tuesday night, just not next Tuesday. We're doing that kind of group video call where we all practice our psychic abilities together. But then I'll be back every Tuesday after that. Ooh. Sir Jester, I don't feel like I feel like you're not like super intuitive, or I shouldn't say that. What it feels like is like you only go to get readings for yourself, but you've never like sat down to try to like connect to your intuition yourself. And correct me if I'm wrong, I could be, but this is like spirit of initiation. And I feel like you have a group of guides that are like, we are waiting to talk to you. We are waiting to meet you. They are literally like this close to you. They're just like waiting for you to open up the door and speak to them. And it feels like if you just sat down to do a meditation or a shamanic journey, you would just be like, bam, and you'd connect with all of them. So the spirit of initiation is sort of like when they talk about initiation in shamanic practices, it's very much like, yeah, it's weird territory to get into right now, but it's basically saying that when you come in to start doing shamanic work, you are initiated in. We welcome you in on this spiritual realm. You're being welcomed in. We sort of anoint you. Some people take this very literally, and they're like, "Well, I have to have a name, and I have to have like a ceremony to have my spirits welcome me in?" And some people, are very analytical about how this initiation has to happen. I'm taking it more symbolically. Sir Jester, they want to meet you. They want to talk to you. You have like some seriously powerful beings on the other side. Like they're in armor. They're huge. They're like tall. Like they're like as tall as this earth is big. They are huge energy, huge beings. And they want to meet you. And then the Shaman of Tradition. And I pulled both of these in reverse, which to me says like, this is what's needed. Right now, you're not maybe connecting to that intuition yourself. Maybe you're just kind of getting readings from other people, but it's like they want you to connect on your own. And then the Shaman of Tradition, I'm sort of, so I sort of read cards intuitively. I don't always necessarily read them at face value. And so what immediately I got first impressions of this was the reason why, if you're struggling with your intuition, is you're just not going through the steps of like how to do something. And so like specifically, if you're interested in shamanic journeying, it's almost like you're not going through the proper steps of connecting correctly. And so it's not quite working for you. And so finding a ritual is the word that I'm hearing. Like I'm saying, I'm kind of simulating tradition with ritual. Finding and it doesn't even have to be shamanic journey. It could be automatic writing, it could be meditating, something. It could be dreaming is what they're telling me. Lucid dreaming, something, whatever it is, it works for you, but go through the ritual of doing it correctly, because I feel like you might skip the steps and you might be like, oh, this is too hard, I just want to go to a psychic and get the information instead. What was I saying? But yeah, you need the ritual behind it. For whatever reason, that's just going to help you get into this zone a little bit more, so you can connect with them. I'm just seeing if there's anything else for Sir Jester. Sir Jester, these are really powerful beings that you have. I don't think I've ever seen a spirit helper that was as tall as I saw them. They're huge. And I think you connecting with them on your own is just going to open up this whole new world of possibilities, and you are just going to be like, your mind is going to be blown. It's crazy. So thank you, Sir Jester. That was our last live reading of the night. So we are going to be doing donations only. So let me jump in here. What's YW mean? I'm not as young and with it as I used to be. Is the PayPal not an actual link? Sorry, I'm gonna have to check this now. See, what's crazy is everyone has like issues, and then it's paypal.me/psychic Lauryn. Here. Oh, I see. It redirects to a new link. Sorry, thanks for pointing that out. I'll actually make sure that I change that in my future live streams. So it's technically that. I think I typed it in wrong. What's this guy's deal? Okay. Let me see, Marissa. But yeah, Carla, sorry. I'll get that fixed for future stuff. Marissa, thank you. Marissa, let me know what questions you have. Means you're welcome. Oh, thank you. I mean, I'm pretty young, but still sometimes my coworkers and stuff will like leave these abbreviations. I'm like, what does that mean? I don't know. Yeah, I just saw. I'm sorry, guys. Yes, thank you, Sir Jester. Curious what my ancestors have to say. Yes. Okay, so Marissa donated. Let's get to her next. Thank you guys for being here. And I will see you guys not next Tuesday, but the Tuesday after for these same live readings. But if you guys want to practice your psychic abilities, and it's okay if you're a beginner, join us next Tuesday. And follow me on Instagram because I'm trying to get all Instagram savvy. And for all the followers that I have on YouTube, I have like none on Instagram. Also because I have people copying me on Instagram, so people don't know where to find me. Yeah, sorry, Carla. I'll make sure that is fixed next time. Ancestors, and what I'm going to do right now is going to put myself a reminder, or else I will forget. Okay. Okay, so Marissa, Ancestors of Knowing. So I don't know what kind of animal that is. The only thing I don't like about this deck is like the pictures are like cave drawings. And I'm just like, what? I can't even see what this is. Which I get it. Like if you like to connect with the images and have them be a little bit more abstract, that makes sense. But I'm just like, what? This makes no sense. That's a horse, I guess. Anyway. Let's see. Who am I reading? Marissa, sorry. So yeah, Ancestors of Knowing. I'm feeling like this is very much intuitive. Marissa, you are naturally more intuitive. You are interested in it, obviously, and you really have the capabilities and the power to connect into it more. And they're trying to say that, you know, this is something that is in your lineage. This is something that has been passed down. Maybe there's been people in your family that are more intuitive. They didn't know how to harness it, or maybe they didn't even just speak of it because they were so afraid. And I'm definitely leaning towards this. They're like legitimately showing me grandmas or just females within your lineage that were like, that dabbled in it a bit. And I'm seeing like herbs and like them helping with like medicinal stuff. But like, you know, back then, you know, having somebody prescribe you like herbs for something would be considered like witchcraft or something, which is crazy because it's not, it's just knowing herbs and stuff like that. But it feels like that level, like you have ancestors in your lineage that were like that, you know, knew these things but did them in secret, but never told each other out of fear of like being found out. And so I feel like, you know, you connecting to your own intuition, you might meet those ancestors. I mean, I'm feeling like very strong, like one particular woman energy. Which is why I was saying grandma. But I'm seeing her like make things for people and sort of like sneak them out the door and like hand them to people. I'm like, go. she has like a staff now. She has a staff now. She wouldn't ever do that back then. But I wouldn't be surprised if she came in as a guide for you, Marissa. And so she's saying too that once you do start to kind of go down this path of developing your intuition, like this little spirit kind of has like a bright light on his third eye chakra, which is like intuition. She's saying like once you get down this road, you're gonna hit blocks. Like psychic blocks are natural. It happens with all of us, and we just kind of have to learn how to get around those blocks. But there's gonna be some blocks that you might have, Marissa, where you're worried about what other people think, or you're worried about like taking this to the next level, or even just talking to like friends or family about it because you're like, I'm scared of what they're going to think or say. And she's saying, you know, that's that ancestor stuff coming back. It's like you're tuning into that old familial, what's the word I'm looking for? The family. She's saying code. I don't know what that means. But this old familial mindset of like, oh, we have to hide this. We have to hide this. And so I think, Marissa, when it comes to your intuition, you are very much associating it with like something that needs to be hidden. Like, I don't need to dive into this. I'll just kind of keep it in a box over here. And I think this ancestor that is definitely related to you, that has done it in the past, is like coming in and she's like, you know, I couldn't do it in this life, but you can do it in this life. And she's just like wanting to encourage you and help you with this. And she's telling me that she's here to guide you. Spirit of initiation. This is kind of that same, like, I'm here to welcome you in. If you want to take the step forward into doing this yourself, connecting to your intuition yourself, I'm here. I am here to help you. I heard Agatha or Agnes. I never get names. Do not quote me on them. I'm so bad with names. There would be people in my psychic development classes who just like, I don't know how they did it. They got names like they hit the nail on the head, but I just was never good at it. But, ooh, interesting, Marissa. I wonder, and it could, and you know, I'm envisioning it as like old-timey, but it could have even been somebody recently, because I had somebody in my lineage that was only 2 generations away that was into this stuff, also hit it, found out years and years later, and it was still like hush hush, which is crazy because she's like dead. Like, why are we keeping this a secret? But yeah, it could definitely be like grandma that you didn't know too. That's so cool, Marissa. Thank you for your donation. That was awesome. I'm just going to see if there's anything else for Marissa. There's just kind of like words of encouragement. You got this. I would try to connect with this grandma figure. Don't necessarily worry about like what her name is or what she looks like or who exactly she is. Just try to connect to her energy and develop a relationship, establish kind of like her personality, connect to her a few times, and after a while you'll start to be like, okay, this is her, this is what she feels like. And then, you know, filling in the blanks of, you know, how you could have been connected to her might make sense. The only thing else I can get about her is like East Coast, feeling like East Coast vibes. I don't know. What type of cards do you use? I use all types. So the mermaid cards are oracle cards. These actually, yeah, so these shaman oracle cards are technically oracle cards too. I mean, it's basically tarot or oracle. Tarot is following the traditional Rider-Waite deck, which has like a specific number of cards and the 4 suits and the major arcana and the minor arcana. Whereas oracle cards, they don't necessarily always follow that rules. There might be more cards or less cards. These cards are actually super interesting, the Shaman's Oracle, because they have suits, but they have dancers, healers. So you see how these are different colors? Ancestors, the outsides are different colors. Shamans, and then hunters. So these are like the 5 cards. And they all kind of represent a different part of shamanic culture. So spirits, dancers, shamans, hunters, ancestors. And so they all each have like spirit of healing, spirit of friendship, spirit of this, dancer of friendship, dancer of this, dancer of that. And they all kind of have a different theme, sort of similar to the major arcana and the minor arcanas, like the cups, wands, pentacles, all of that stuff. But it's interesting because it's based on the hand. Each of these things, the dancer, shaman is like a different finger, and like the center is like where your energy comes from. It's all kind of described in this book. And so they actually have spreads that are based on this like energy of the hand, which is super interesting. So if you want to buy it, I think I have a link on my website that'll take you to get it. But let's see. Let me just make sure Carla got her donation in. Carla, if you did, feel free to post your question. Nolan. You paid with the name Nolan. Okay, Carla, let me know what your question is. Thank you. I'm glad you did figure it out. Thank you, Marissa. I'm glad it resonated. Oh, goodness. See, I shuffle my cards and I don't pay attention, and now they're all backwards. Sometimes. I haven't gotten oracle cards just yet. I only have a tarot deck at the moment. Personally, I like oracle cards because I've never taken the time to memorize the tarot. I think if you memorize the tarot, it would be amazing because then you could use any tarot deck. That's the only bad thing about the oracle cards is like every new oracle deck, you do have to memorize exactly what it is in those cards. So, I mean, what's nice about some oracle cards is it has everything written on them. Like it has the main word, but then it has like also like phrases. So these ones are pretty easy to guess without opening up the book. But some oracle cards will just have the name, like just have sanctuary or just have the mirror. And if you're like, I have no clue what that means, then you have to sort of read them intuitively, which I'm going to release a video on here soon. I've already recorded it. I just need to put it up. But yeah, I prefer oracle cards, but that's only because I haven't memorized. I haven't taken a tarot class. It's like on my list of things to do, but they're always like several weeks long because literally you'd spend like one night going over like 5 cards. And I'm always thinking like there's no way I can memorize them all, but I'm sure I could if I tried. Okay, just waiting for Carla to get her question in. That's a whole lot. Yeah, it is a lot of cards. I think, is it 58 cards in the Rider-Waite deck? Although my first tarot deck was a tarot deck. Do I have any messages from my ancestors? I was not expecting ancestors to come through tonight. Everybody's got the same message though, like come meet us. So this is also for you, Carla. Yeah, Vika, you can ask general questions. I won't do like personal reading questions, obviously, but I love answering questions about the psychic ability. Or questions about me. Just kidding. Carla, Ancestor of Illusion. I pulled this in reverse. Also, this one, I just keep getting this message over and over again. So, like, Carla, you guys are also saying, I'm here, I'm waiting to talk to you. Like, these, I keep seeing, like, the stars on this. And actually, it's rock, but, like, when I'm seeing this card, I'm seeing, like, anyone who feels like their ancestors might want to connect with them. It's as simple as sitting down, meditating, and literally, like, imagine yourself opening up a door, and there's just, like, a galaxy on the other side. And they're saying, like, just walk into this space, and you'll find us. And so, Carla, the same message for you as a lot of other people tonight. We're here. We want to talk to you. We want to, and the word initiation I love because I'm really feeling like we want to initiate you up here. We really want you to connect to this third eye energy. We want you to connect. And when I say third eye energy, that's a chakra that I just associate with intuition. Your third eye is not the source of your intuition, but it's basically they want to initiate you into your intuition. I feel like the people that have gotten this card tonight, it's like you don't understand the capabilities of what you can do with your intuition, of how you can connect and how you can receive those information. It's one thing to get it from somebody else, but to get it on your own when you're sitting there doing a meditation or doing a shamanic journeying, and you just get this information and you're like, holy cow, that was incredible. There's honestly nothing like it. And so they're wanting you to kind of step into this a little bit more. And even if you're already there, Carla, there's even more you can explore there with your intuition. Ancestor of illusion. What is going on? What is this in relation to? Because there's something hiding, or there's something kind of shielding your perception. But I'm like, what? Hunter of dreams. Okay. So, Carla, I pulled up the Hunter of Dreams, and I kind of feel like this is a theme, not a theme, but something in your life that you struggle with is going after your dreams. I pulled it in reverse. And so this feels like a thing that you're always having to compromise. You want to do the things that you love, but maybe it's money, or maybe it's time or energy, or the people that you have to take care of that get in your way of going after your dreams. Or maybe it's just like self-doubt. Focus, camera. This camera is so annoying. But Carla, I feel like you're constantly doing this back and forth of like, oh, I'm really excited. I want to go after my dreams. I want to go after my goals. But then you sort of get this like slap in the face from reality, and you're just like, ugh, okay, I'll just do the bare minimum. And they want you to see that this is an illusion, that you put this veil in front of you when it comes to this. You put this veil of, I can't do this. I can't achieve my dreams. And it's not real. It's not there. And getting rid of this self-doubt is as simple as pulling this veil away. This is an illusion that you can get rid of. And how you can get rid of it and how you can see past it and really know, okay, well, yes, I want to connect to my dream. I want to manifest it, but I have no idea how. I don't know what to do. Connecting to your intuition is going to help you get there. Connecting to your intuitive ability, your psychic ability, you're going to get answers of how to maneuver around these obstacles that you think are in your way. And then you're going to get rid of these illusions, and you're going to be like, oh, wow, I keep telling myself that I can't do this, but actually I can. And so there's something about using your intuition to move forward in life, to go after the things that you're passionate about, that they want you to understand. And if you're at all feeling like you're really connected with kind of the energy behind these cards, the Hunter is really speaking to me. Carla, just that the energy of the Hunter, somebody who's going after their dreams, going after their goals. And it feels like, you're a hunter, but you've just been so unsuccessful so many times. But that doesn't mean that, the animal wasn't there that you could get, or that, like assuming you're like a hunter trying to hunt food for your tribe, it's not that it's not there. It's just you're looking in the wrong places, or you're, going out at the wrong times, or you're doing the silly things. And it's as simple as connecting to your intuition. And you're going to get rid of all these things that you think are in your way. There's a lot of illusion in your way, a lot of veils of obstacles that are really just up here. They're not real obstacles. They are just your mind kind of like coming up with things to sort of stop you, to make you feel safe. I hope that makes sense. I did see your question. Like the Two of Swords. Ooh, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know tarot, but if the Two of Swords is resonating with you, Carla, put that like on. I made a video of how to make a self-care shrine. And if like you just really need the energy of a card, put it on your self-care shrine so that like every day you look at it and you're like, I remember. But yeah, thank you, Carla. That was a great message. By ancestor, could it also be close friend? I mean, I don't see why not. Usually when I'm connecting to ancestors, I'm purposely connecting to somebody who is past. I guess it depends on the person though, because I had a reading with somebody last week, like a phone reading, and it was crazy because she had a guide that came through and it felt like she had lived forever ago, but it also felt like she was currently living now. And I was about to be like, well, no, she's not living now. She was in the past. But then it was like this weird, like, she was just telling me, no, I can be in more than one place at a time. Like, your idea of time is not correct. And so I just said it. I was like, all right, I don't get it, but she's saying she can be in both places at once. I must be getting this wrong. A close friend that has passed. Yeah, absolutely. Just because you're not blood ancestors, you could be spiritual ancestors as well, is kind of how I like to think about it. You can be just as connected with somebody via blood than as you are connected to somebody energetically. So V Cookie had a question. I'm having the same dreams about my past life for the past 2 days, and it has a message for me, but I forget my dreams. Isn't that convenient? Plus, one of my guys are trying to say something to me, but when I ask, I don't get anything. Any advice on that? Okay, how do I not give you a 2-hour answer? Because that's how I am. So if you're having a dream and you're forgetting your dreams, and of course, I have all these videos. I have no videos on dreams yet, but I have lists upon lists of ideas. For forgetting your dreams, you really first have to just get in the habit of remembering every single night. So that's the unfortunate part about dreams, is you have to get into the habit of remembering them every night so that when an important message does come through, you can stop and you can catch it. One thing that you could do, V Cookie, is if you know what time you are kind of waking up or what time you are in REM. So REM is dream state. So sometimes what happens is we go into REM and we're dreaming and we sort of kind of come back out of it and we forget. But if you can purposely wake yourself up, I can't remember at what hour it is. I want to say, like, if you sleep an 8-hour night, it's kind of like waking yourself up at like 6 hours. Something about that, it just catches you right before you go back into like, I can't remember the last stage of sleep. It's like something that happens after. I can't remember because I'm getting it all confused with baby sleep cycles are much different than human sleep cycles. But basically, one of the things you can do is you can try to wake yourself up a little bit earlier. Just set an alarm and just try to wake up and see if you're catching yourself in the middle of that dream. Have a journal next to your bed, jot down notes, fall back asleep. That's an easy way to do it. But unfortunately, it's like a long run kind of answer. You have to kind of be doing it every night in order to remember. But even if you're not getting it in your dreams, you can stop and you can ask. Pull a card and be like, I'm having a dream. I can't remember what it's about, guys, but what are you trying to say here? And then you can ask. You don't always have to go back to the dream to get that information. And that's one of the things I'm going to go over, is basically you can connect to a dream, connect to the energy of the dream. And I'm just remembering one other tool that my Karen Fox, the director of the Aspen program for psychic development, said. And she said, before you go to sleep, imagine yourself in this dream. Kind of go back to the energy of that dream, play it out over and over again in your head, and then fall back asleep, kind of thinking about it. And obviously, it's going to be a struggle. You're not going to be thinking about it, and you're not automatically just going to go back into that dream. But if you're thinking about it while you're trying to fall asleep, you're setting the intention, I want to go back to this message. So that's like one of a bajillion pieces of advice I could give you. If you're not getting anything when you ask your guides, I would say practice your psychic ability. Try it a different way. Maybe the way you're trying it is just not working for you. Maybe it's the clair. Maybe it's the exercise itself. Like if you're trying to use automatic writing and it's not working, try something else. No, I didn't about McDonald's. I've always wanted to ask you, V Cookie, if you were a BTS fan or if that was just coincidental. Too funny. Thanks, Carla. That's interesting, mind hunger. Yeah, absolutely. That could totally happen. Let's see. Did Zeneb donate? Oh. Okay. Zeneb, thank you for your donation. Sorry, guys. So what? I'm done with the free readings for tonight. So it's just I'm wrapping up comments. If anyone else donates, I will do those. But then after that, I'm jumping off. Does Usman, sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Is Usman missing? I'm going to pull my mermaid deck. Yes, I'm an army. Who's your bias? V Cookie? Is it V? Is it Cookie? I'm JK all the way. All right. I'm pulling cards and not asking questions. Sorry, Zeneb. I'm distracted. Okay. Thanks for your donation, Zeneb. Okay, turning into Usman. I pulled the same card. I should have just trusted it the first time. I pulled Sacrifice in reverse. Who's this? Is this him? No, this is you. So sometimes what happens in Ebb is our spirits are like, I'm not going to answer your question. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear. And so this is kind of like a creepy card. Whenever I pull this card in person, everyone's like, oh, I don't like that card. But the sacrifice card is about sacrificing this relationship. I think your guys are coming in to say, this person is not good for you. It literally says on this card, there are those that will destroy you. And I feel like the energy, whoever this is, I don't feel like this person itself is bad for you, but I feel like your thoughts, you're so stuck on them and you're so desperate to know what they think that you're losing yourself, you're sacrificing yourself, you're letting it tear you apart, versus, just moving on. And I don't want this to come across mean, but it's like your guides are like, your energy is with it way too much. And this is talking about Zeneb, a journey ending, a journey ends, being settled, arriving at the end. So I think I don't see you getting back together with Usman. I know that's not your question. I'll tune into what he thinks. I've been in a very ethical bind lately, and for those who are still going to listen to me, I have a question for you after this. But Usman, he's definitely like putting up a wall. He doesn't want you to read him. So it's harder for me to connect to his energy. So what I'll do is it's kind of going around himself, but asking my guides or asking his guides, what does he think about you? Does he miss you? And they're telling me like, yes, in a friendly way, like he enjoyed hanging out with you and being friends with you, but he didn't miss like the negativity or the drama. I don't know if you guys like fought a lot or whatever happened there, but he does miss you, but as like a friend. So like if he were to come back, it would only be for those friend aspects. But I think your guides are really wanting you to move forward, sacrifice this relationship, because if you don't, it's going to be at the detriment of yourself. There are those that will destroy you. And sometimes it's not even them as much as sometimes you can focus on the energy of something you want so bad. This could be a relationship. This could be, I don't know, something that you want so bad, like a wedding or an engagement ring or a new house, something like that. You want it so bad that you can't focus on what's in the present. You can't appreciate what you have. You're just so stuck in this moment that you can't let go, and it brings you down. And so I think Zeneb, that's what they wanted to say. More importantly, to accept that this journey has come to an end, but that's okay. There's going to be better things coming your way, and it's hard to see that a lot of times when you're in the middle of it. But this is affirmation that you're moving on. You're headed towards that next chapter. To not focus on it anymore. Release it. Ooh, and one of the things, this is kind of for anybody, as well as you, Zeneb, if you really are having a hard time disconnecting from somebody. And I had a friend that did this to me. So I had a friend that just completely ghosted me. Like one day, we were hanging out, having fun. A couple months had gone by, I hadn't heard from her, reached out and was like, hey, like, how are you? Like, do you want to hang out? And she's like, I'm not going to be friends with you anymore. And then she blocks me on all of her social media channels. And it just hurt. And it was so bad. And I was so caught up in it for so long. I was constantly being like, well, what do you think she thinks? And why did she do it? And it was eating me away. And I kept putting all my energy towards her. And so one of the things you can do is a cord cutting technique. And so the theory behind this is when you're thinking about other people, when your energy is with them, we kind of attach to them with these invisible cords. This is not literal. Do not take this literally. It's sort of like a pathway. So one of the things I do when I connect, if you guys pay for a reading for me, I imagine sending a cord to you from me, and this is how we communicate. This is how we connect with each other. And at the end of the reading, I sort of sever this cord. And so there are cord cutting meditations that you can find out there. And this can be cord cutting meditations to let go of someone, to forgive someone, to just stop thinking about an ex, stop thinking about a friend, any of that. And so if you're really feeling hung up on somebody to a point where you just like can't like get rid of it, try a cord cutting exercise, because it's really helpful. Very helpful. Thank you, Zeneb. I'm sorry. I know that's probably not what you want to hear, but I say what I get. It's around 12 to 3 a.m. Big cookie. Goodness gracious. I remember the people, but not the message. I feel like there's some kind of blockage. Usually I remember my dreams. And Vikiki, if you guys ever want to just get like a quick psychic unblocking, I do have a meditation on my channel. It's like a psychic waterfall removal of the blocks. And I also talk about it in my basic psychic skills course. I have a whole kind of chapter on how to remove. It's super important, because if you're reading people constantly, you can't just, you can't, but you can't every single reading be like, oh, I'm not getting anything, sorry. You have to be able to know how to remove the middle of a reading. And so it takes time and practice, but thank you, Mind Hunger. I appreciate it so much. It's JK, but I am OT7 stand. Yeah, I don't know much about OT7. Literally found K-pop through BTS. That's so awesome. That's so awesome. Yeah, I'm so glad. They're such a great group. Awesome, you guys. Let me just make sure nobody else donated. I got Jenna, right? Yes. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. So join me next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, we're going to be doing that group reading. Not group reading, group practice nights. We're all going to get on, practice our psychic abilities. This is a Zoom call. So we're going to be kind of face-to-face practicing with each other. If you want to practice your psychic abilities, if you want to give someone a reading and just do it for fun, it's not paid. There's no pressure. Everyone's practicing. It's a great place to try. And then same thing. If like you are like wanting to help somebody practice their reading, and you can give them feedback on whether or not it was good, or what they connected with or what they didn't connect with correctly. It'll be a great place for practice once a month. So especially if you're trying to really hone your psychic abilities, it helps so much more to force yourself to practice one, and then practice on other people, and then practice face to face with people. So next Tuesday night, sign up on my website, and yeah, follow me on Instagram, also on Facebook. Please subscribe here. I've got a new video coming up this Friday, and yeah, you can book readings with me on my website. I think that's it, you guys. Oh, Carla, that's a great point. You can also cut cords with things like money. Absolutely. Oh, and mind hunger. So for the dream thing too, you guys, even if you can only write down one little thing, one word that you remember about a dream, just do it. Get in the habit of having something ready to go next to your bed. Write it down. If you need a little light there so you can see, like, have it ready to go. The biggest thing is, if you want to remember your dreams, you have to record them. And again, even if all you can remember is like, I just felt shitty, I felt really bad, or I felt like something very happy happened. Like, that's something. Just start there. And the more often you do it, the better you'll get. Another thing with dreaming, you guys, is you have to go to the bed at the same time every night. You have to also make sure you get in the same amount of hours of sleep. If your schedule is all over the place, your body is not used to getting into REM at the same time. So that is another huge thing, is like, are you actually getting the correct amount of hours of sleep? Because if you don't sleep long enough, you don't get into that REM dream state, where you can wake up and remember things. So there's so much that goes into it, and I'm going to put out videos on dreaming for sure. I think I haven't decided if I want to do a course on it, or if I want to just put it all up on YouTube. So that's why you haven't seen anything from me yet. Absolutely, V Cookie. Carla, it's spelled two different ways. I've usually seen it spelled CHORD, but I found people spell it both ways. But yeah, if you just look for cord cutting meditation, and if you can't find anything that you like, I have a video that is like how to go through a meditation, like the steps to go through a meditation to get information. And this is basically, I made this video for the people who are like, oh, I can't find a meditation on this, or I can't find a meditation on that. And so I gave you the steps, and then kind of the middle section of it is like, plug in whatever you're trying to do. And then, the ending steps of, making sure you disconnect correctly. So in that middle section, what you can do is just visualize the person that you need to, or the thing that you need to cut the cord from. Visualize them, really just feel that cord. And sometimes you'll feel more than one cord. Sometimes you'll feel several, especially to the people you are really attached to. And you can just ask your guides, where are the negative cords? And then you might feel them. There might be one over here. And then you just disconnect them, and you disconnect them safely. So you can imagine, cutting it with scissors, or you can imagine like squeezing it and like pulling it apart. And it's just it's a visualization technique, and you just kind of see that cord going back to them and your cord going back to you, and just keep doing it until you feel like you've removed all the cords. This is also great if you don't know who you are attached to. You can go into it with like, if there are any negative cords, show them to me and I can disconnect them. And it's cool because you go into it, and sometimes you might not see who's on the other end of the cord, or sometimes you might see who's on the other end of the cord, and you're like, I had no idea I had negativity surrounding this person. And then when you look at the cord, you're like, oh, I totally forgot that happened. And then it's kind of like severing it. So if you can't find it exactly, that's all you really have to do. Just kind of plug and play with that video of how to kind of go through I think it's like a guided meditation is what I made on my YouTube channel. You're so funny. That's not what I meant, but that works too. Oh, sorry. I don't know what you meant. I apparently went over my head. Sorry. Just got back. Sapien medicine cord cutter helps. Oh, I wonder if that's a meditation. But yeah, guys, thank you so much. I will see you the Tuesday after the next. For those of you who are joining in our psychic group practice, I will see you next Tuesday. But yeah, guys, please subscribe if you're new here. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.